do not understand why the question when dating is always, can you cook? As if that's the only thing a woman can and should know how to do. I'm about to start asking these men, can you fix a leak? Do you know how to change a flat tire? Do you know how to build a house? Sir, can you grill? So many black men in the comment section saying, oh, you have all these high demands, but what do you bring to the table? Good question. Studies have shown that black women are the highest paid and the most educated. I myself graduated with my associate's degree at 18 and graduated from college with my bachelor's at 20 with a degree in communication sciences with an emphasis in speech and language pathology. I live on my own, have my own car, make about $70,000 a year, and don't have any kids. So I'll never ask for what I can't offer. And as far as what I'm bringing to the table, I bring me, and you can't sit with us.
In the last clip, you heard her explain what she brings to the table. A man had commented to her saying demanding more and offering nothing. So she proceeded to say what she brought to the table and explain that's the reason for her high demands from men. This is how way too many women in their 30s, the millennials, this is how they think. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and make sure you have those notifications turned on to all so you don't miss when I drop a new video here. Her first point.
Studies have shown that black women are the highest paid and the most educated.
Studies have shown that black women are the highest paid and most educated. Take a look at this. It comes from the Ed Trust analysis of the U.S. Census, their American Community Study that they conducted back in 2018 of all 50 states, and they included D.C. as well. It shows that 36% of black women have college degrees, which is 15% less than white women. 51% of white women have college degrees. White men even have more college degrees than black women. 44% of white men have college degrees. This would mean that the statement that black women are the most educated with the most degrees, well, it's obviously not true. These are statements that the media use to plant into black women's heads. They use this to further widen the wedge between black men and black women. If we're going by real numbers, white women are actually the most educated in the U.S., holding the most degrees. Why don't they ever say this? I'm assuming this is a stat they hold on to right here that shows you who black women are really in competition with. It says 26% of black men have college degrees. So yes, black women have more college degrees than black men, but white women also have more college degrees than white men. In fact, white women have more college degrees than everybody. It's just crazy. You will never see these media headlines saying that white women are the most educated and white women have more degrees than white men. You will just never see this, ever. And here's another fact. Women of any race are more likely to go to college than their men. So that goes for Keisha, Becky, and Sophia. And even if we just break it down within the black race, black men versus black women, what they're not telling you is that black women have degrees, but their economic prospects are still highly constrained and they're less likely to reap the full economic rewards of having a degree. This is why black women have more degrees than black men, but still have a lower net worth and lower median income. I've been telling my peers for years, if he's making $50,000 per year without a degree and you're making $65,000 per year with a degree, he's still doing better. Humble yourself. You have $100,000 worth of student debt, $30,000 in credit card debt, a $20,000 car loan. Sis, I hate to tell you, but you're down bad. Plus, you're attempting to live alone and pay all your bills alone. No wonder why they're popping pills and have to go to the therapist. Women were simply not made to have to deal with this much responsibility and stress. And for women going through this with this mindset, girl, you're doing too much. And all these degrees, they're still leaving you unhappy and stressed out. You would think that submitting to a man would be easy, but they find it more difficult getting along with a man than, I don't know, let's say swimming with sharks and drowning in debt. To the black women out there, my sisters, stop drinking the Kool-Aid. These people are lying to you just to put you in competition with your man so you can see less value in him. Meanwhile, Sophia and Becky, they're scooping him up and they're happy to have him. You see him as less than you, and then you run around saying you don't need him. On top of that, this mindset is keeping a lot of corporations in business. Not only are they able to pay less in wages, But everywhere you go, developers, they're throwing up new apartment buildings every day. That's to accommodate all these single women living alone. Instacart, DoorDash, cleaning services, these type of businesses are booming. You have companies and contractors thriving because of the predicament that millennials are in today. No relationship, just living single.
I myself graduated with my associate's degree at 18 and graduated from college with my bachelor's at 20 with a degree in communication sciences with an emphasis in speech and language pathology.
What is she bringing to the table? Her degrees. Most women these days have degrees, and many are graduating early. You have some women like myself, they have degrees, but they never really talk about it. You know why? Because it doesn't even matter. And all the women I've known for years, they all have degrees too. Everybody has at least 2, some 3. But I've been saying this for years now, directly to all of them. That degree does not increase your value to a man like you thought it would. Even the jobs they're working now. I've said this plenty of times to them. You didn't even need that degree to get that job. It's people making the same amount of money or more than you, working the same job in the same company, side by side with you, and they barely have a high school diploma. That's the first reality check that a lot of these women get when it comes to these degrees. They think that men are somehow intimidated by their degrees. What they don't understand is that degree does not increase their value as a woman. And the reason why when this woman goes on a date with men, they're asking her if she can cook and clean, because that is a major prereq for a lot of men. You know what these degrees are doing to millennial women? The degree only gives them the license to be less cooperative, more combative, and less likely to submit to their man. Just like this woman here. They believe they're competing with men, and a degree somehow gives them a competitive advantage. She says she's not asking for anything she can't bring to the table herself. It reminds me of women I've heard say, I have degrees, the man for me, he has to have at least one. Like, girl, keep looking over men talking about a degree. You're disqualifying a lot of good prospects, many of them making way more money than you, and they don't have $100,000 or $200,000 in student loan debt. Yeah, as you can imagine, I've made a lot of friends mad having to tell them this truth.
I live on my own, have my own car, make about $70,000 a year, and don't have any kids.
Living on her own. Who are you supposed to be living with? You're a grown single woman. You're an adult. If you're uncovered and don't have a man, you're simply doing what you have to do because you don't have anybody there to do it for you. She says she has her own car. Well, how else are you supposed to get to this job that you're so proud of? And then the job. Well, they brag about their job so much, but it doesn't take long for them to start hating that too. They get a raise and they'll still complain about money 6 months later after they're used to it and realize that the extra $5,000 per year really didn't make much of a difference in their lives, and they're still unfulfilled. They hate their bosses or their co-workers or both. They hate their clients, and then they start talking down on housewives. When they know they wouldn't want anything more right now than to find a man to come and rescue them from their jobs so they can be taken care of too. Just like those same housewives that they like to discredit. So for all the housewives out there, do not let these type of women play you out of your own position. You are not missing out on anything. You have what women like this wish they can have, but they can't get it. They always lie to the men and say they're willing to put in the same work as a housewife. But like this previous video here, a lot of these women are so entitled and deceptive. Like the sweet woman in this video, the man took care of her and she didn't have to pay for anything. He held up his end of the agreement, yet she didn't want to do what she signed up to do or even listen to him. And when she had to prove that she would serve this man, she tapped out and dumped him. That sweet woman turned disrespectful and condescending real quick. The link is below in the description if you want to check out that video for yourself if you missed it. But yeah, they really don't want these jobs. That's why most women who call Kevin Samuels' show, they say after having kids, they do not want to have to work to pay any significant bills. So they brag about these degrees and jobs that they end up not using or having anyway. At least that's the plan. She said, I bring me to the table and you can't sit with us. Translation, I'm such a great prize. Look at me. I have so much going on and you're not better than me. You can't touch this. Word to MC Hammer. And this is why women like her end up in no man's land. This woman is in her 30s and she's overinflated her value. If you ask this woman to rate herself, she would probably say she's a 10. She thinks men are intimidated by her. Lady, no one's intimidated by you. You're just not qualified for any man. Your attitude is horrible. The idea that you're entitled to a top man because you have degrees, you're just delusional like a lot of millennial women. This competitive mindset and that energy that black women they're giving off to black men, this is why Becky and Sophia, they're grabbing them up. They're not picking Sophia because she's prettier than you or her skin is lighter. They're picking her because she's cooperative, she's submissive, she's gonna cook, she's gonna clean, she is grateful to have him, and she's childless. For a majority of black men, it has nothing to do with their skin color. There are many light-skinned women that's going through the same thing that this woman is going through. They're getting the same results. So it's not about that. At the end of the day, when asked what she brought to the table, this woman instantly named all the things that would attract a woman to a man. If a man was saying that to a woman, it could work. And from the way she's talking, she wants to sit at the table all by herself. And with this attitude and mindset, that's exactly what she's gonna be. Sitting at the table all by herself. Shout out to Dark Power, Kennedy, my brother Sagittarian Prince, and also my sister Tamika for supporting and donating to this channel. But you can support this channel too. Hit up the Cash App. The link is below in the description. I certainly appreciate all of you. Ladies, fellas, you want a balanced analysis on topics just like this? Do you want the truth? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you click that notification bell so you do not miss any new videos. I see you guys are loving the content. Still, don't forget to hit that like button and share.